Welcome to Mailbox Monday for March 18th. I got a number of books this week, even though I was on vacation. So when I got back yesterday, I was spending all this time unwrapping books. I got a couple books for review. The first one I got for review was from the Amazon Vine program, and this is being published by Amazon. It's called 47 North. It's their science fiction fantasy publishing name or whatever. The book is Seven Kinds of Hell by Dana Cameron, and it comes out in March. And it's about an archaeologist named Zoe Miller who finds out that she's a werewolf and the daughter of the Fangborn, which is a secret race of werewolves, vampires, and oracles. So she has to go rescue her sister and go on a quest for some mysterious artifacts and stuff like that. It sounds like an interesting urban fantasy. I like the archaeology bent to it and the kind of like dungeon quest type sound to it. We'll see if it's good or not. It said published in March 2013, later in March, so it should be an interesting read. The second book I got from review was also through Amazon Vine, and this is another 47 North book. And this is called Romulus Buckle in the City of the Founders. This is the first book in the Chronicles of the Pneumatic Zeppelin. So this one is supposed to have a bit of a steampunk vibe to it. It's set in the future, and Romulus Buckle captains a Zeppelin and leads an elite crew against all odds and enemies. So it's supposed to be lots of fighting, war, steampunk setting, fighting aliens, that kind of thing. It sounds kind of cool. It's got kind of a cool looking cover. So I decided to go ahead and get it for review. It's kind of a long book, but this one comes out in July, so we'll see how that is. And then I swapped 3 books this week. That's all I got for review. I swapped 3 books this week through Paperback Swap. The first is Tarnished by Karissa Cooper, and this is the first in the St. Croix Chronicles. This is about a woman named Cherry St. Croix who, again, this has a bit of a steampunk Victorian theme to it, and she is kind of like a bounty hunter. She hunts down thieves, vagrants, murderers, stuff like that. And she's kind of torn between living in the daylight world, where she's part of a respectable scientific society, and living in the London below, where all the dangerous creatures live. So a little bit of there's probably some romance in here, steampunk, urban fantasy kind of stuff. It's all set in London. I've been wanting to pick this up for a while, and so I had my wish list on Paperback Swap and just got it. The other one I got through Paperback Swap is House of Shadows by Rachel Numiere. I don't know how to say her last name, I apologize. This is about 2 sisters, one who gets sent to the flower house and is pampered and beautiful and whatever, and the other one, Mimian, however you say that, who ends up being apprenticed to a mage. And so it sounds like a good fantasy. I actually haven't read anything by Rachel before, and I do have, I think it's City of Lakes or something like that to read. Oh, I don't remember. I have another book from her that she's written to read. She's supposed to write very good fantasy, and so I'm excited to write this, or to read this. Oh, look at my kitty has decided to come and bring me a toy. Come here, kitty. Hello. He wants me to play with his toy. You want to go get it? All right, go get it. Okay. The second book, a little cat interruption. The second book that I got through Paperback Swap.com is called The Periodic Table, Its Story and Its Significance by Eric R. Scary. This is one I went ahead on my wish list on Paperback Swap for quite a while, and it's supposed to be just a very interesting read about how the periodic table came to be, and you know why it is set up like it is, and all that kind of stuff. And you know, I work as a formulation chemist, so occasionally I get stuff like this to read just because it sounds interesting. So this should be a fun read. Alright, those were all the ones I got to swap. I got 3 more from the library. I'm still trying to catch up on like the 20 different series that I was reading that had books that came out in February. So I've been gradually getting these from the library as they get them in, just because there's so many series I was reading that have books that came out in February. There's no way I could keep up with it. So the first book I got from the library is Fragments by Dan Wells. And this is the second book in the Partials series. This is a dystopian young adult series that I really enjoyed. The first book was called Partials, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to see what happens in this one. A pretty long book. It came out the end of February, so it should be an interesting read. It's like February was almost dystopian month. I'm actually reading Sever right now, which was the final book in the dystopian series Wither, and it's been really good. The second one I got from the library is Winterblaze by Kristen Callahan. This is the third in the Darkest London series, and this is a very romancy looking cover. The others haven't been like this. The first two were Firelight and Moonglow. This is all about, it's set in Victorian London, and it's about three sisters that, it basically tells their individual story. The first one, Firelight, was about a girl who finds out she has the power to create fire and stuff, and it tells about her history and the man she meets and falls in love with. So they're very much like Victorian paranormal romance kind of books. They are heavy on the romance, but I enjoy the setting a lot. The Victorian London setting, I enjoy the heroines and the writing, and they're always very well done. So I'm excited to read this and see what happens. This is the story of Poppy, and she is the sister we have not heard about yet. I believe she... Yeah, I thought that... Yeah, so I guess her husband gets attacked. Her husband was... I was thinking he died, and then this is about whatever. But this is about her and her husband that had gotten brutally attacked, and them trying to rebuild their relationship and figure out how to control her magic supernatural power. Alright, the last book I got from the library is Black City by Christina Henry. This series features Madeline Black, and this is the fifth book in the series. And I'm trying to remember, I get her confused a little bit with the character in Kelly Gay's series. But anyway, so Maddie lives in Chicago, and if I recall, like, everything's dark and black, and she deals with Azazel, who's a fallen angel. That was her father, and then her uncle is Lucifer. So I think in the last book we found out she's like pregnant or something, and so she's trying to deal with keeping her child away from Lucifer and trying to protect the city from all the darkness that has fallen upon it. These have been okay. I really like the first few, and then the last couple ones have been kind of like, I don't know. They're all kind of the same. Maddie like rushes in without any plan and like annihilates everything and kicks butt, and sometimes it doesn't seem very realistic. But it's been a decent urban fantasy series, and I enjoy it. It's fast-paced and action-packed, and Maddie's an interesting heroine who's dealing with, you know, actually being pregnant and becoming a mother and all that kind of stuff while she tries to kick all this vampire and angelic butt. So, anyways, that's the last one I got. And I was on vacation last week in Florida, and then we came back yesterday to a winter weather advisory and freezing rain and lots of snow again. Somebody needs to tell whoever controls the weather that it is almost April and we do not need more snow in Minnesota right now. What we need is temperatures above 35 that will melt all the snow. But nobody's going to listen to me, so whatever. That's it. That's what I got to read this week, and I hope that you guys had a great week of reading as well and got some great books. I will talk to you next week. Bye.